I still do not know what problems Nido has. I do not. We just said there's problems. Even if you don't want to call names, let's have an idea of what's going on in that if we're all part of that organization. Because what happened in the past that made somebody like me or Fiona or George to leave, it was major. Is it kind of the same thing going on and on? And what lesson, particularly regarding governance, transparency, and member engagement, would you teach the people that are following your footsteps, the people that you're trying to govern? My problem is not what you're doing in Nigeria. My problem is the image Niger is giving us outside Nigeria. Please, can you just tell us, let us go through into that a little bit.
Okay, that's fine. One of the things I mentioned in the past was sometimes a simple search, due diligence, will tell you the rightful leadership of NIDO. When we approach MDAs, ministries or departments or anyone we approach, any stakeholder, we refer them to the company's house and say to them, verify, we are the authentic leaders of Nigerian in Diaspora Organization in Europe. And it's difficult to say this, but even in the National Assembly of Nigeria, even in these political parties we speak about, you always see people going to court. People go to court because we are human beings. We always have to disagree. So if there's no way we can stop an individual from declaring themselves the chairman of NIDO. If tomorrow you come up and say you want to be the chairman of NIDO and declare yourself the chairman of NIDO, what can we do? Do you want me to take my brother and my sister to court or penalize them? Sometimes the court will not even work because they say there's freedom of association. They decide to add an A to their own NIDO. Instead of calling NIDO UK South, for example, they call it NIDO UK chapter. And they register an organization that doesn't really represent NIDO, but something similar, and use it to parade themselves. So how do you stop those type of things? The only thing we are calling on them to do is, while you are doing that because you are eager to give back to Nigeria, do not denigrate that diaspora spirit. Do not denigrate that diaspora entity. Do your stuff, donate to Nigeria, do whatever you can do for homeland development, do it ethically. Remember, I continue to mention this because some people form these mushroom organizations in order to do things the funny way. So what happened in Niger was we had an elections, and during the election process, people that were not qualified were automatically put on the ballot box. And majority of people said, no, you are not qualified. For you to be the chairman of NIDO Europe, it's just common sense. There's no, you don't have to go to school for this. You must have been an executive member or a chapter chair or a committee chair. You cannot just come from nowhere. You want to lead NIDO Europe. Remember, not the NIDO chapters, the NIDO Europe. So you cannot just come from nowhere and want to lead it. So someone just came up and found himself in the ballot box. And secondly, remember, NIDO Europe is made up of chapters. It's those chapters that nominate candidates to the center. It's like going to the United Nations. Nigeria nominates candidates to the United Nations. You cannot just come up tomorrow and say you're a member of the United Nations or you're nominating yourself to the United Nations. It's Nigeria that nominates. It's something like ministers. States nominate ministers to the federal government. So someone just came up. You're not nominated by your chapter. Your chapter has suspended you. You don't even belong to any chapter within NIDO Europe. And you say you are a candidate and want to become the chairman of NIDO Europe. Majority of people said no, it won't happen. So that's the major problem. I think I've explained that. But the point I make today is that it's not really relevant for me. You can declare whatever I want to declare. The masses, the genuine people, stakeholders know who the true leadership are. If you don't know, verify by speaking to the chapter chairs. We have a chapter chair within your Honorable Dr. Godwin. Speak to him. He will tell you who the rightful chapter chair is. Speak to other chapter chairs. Speak to other continental bodies, and they'll tell who the rightful person is. So somebody dragging themselves and parading themselves as NIDO Europe chair makes no sense. They will not crucify them because they are our brothers and they're trying their best to give back to Nigeria. But let them do so ethically. And that's the point I asked.
Are you making, sorry to add to that, are you making efforts to bring, to me, I believe in unity. Are you making efforts to bring everybody together under one umbrella? Because it's not a good name for us. Seriously, as a diasporan, I cannot come out now and say there's two, three branches of NIDO or chapters of NIDO, especially here in the UK. So please, if there are efforts, if you have to do whatever you can to make sure everybody's under one umbrella, let's all speak in one voice. This thing Nigerians are doing today, you're this, tomorrow. There's three versions of Nigerians, or three versions of Igbos, or three versions of Nido. We need to stop it, please. If there's a way, instead of telling them, okay, go and do the right thing, no, tell them, and all of you should come back together and be under one umbrella. That's all I could advise on that.
Thank you for that
Anyway,
advice.
listen.
It's noted, and we are doing that. Remember, I said 24th of July, we all held hands together and we marched to the National Assembly. So I'm calling on them on this show, if they ever happen to listen to it. Let's work together. Come back home. You'll be welcomed, and together we'll make Nido better and greater, and our image more polished. So I
And then
welcome them.
we cannot come back cook with you, no?
Yeah, I can't wait to have you back as a member.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
Anyway,
Yes.
I do have a question under the inclusivity and member engagement. How are you ensuring that all voices within the Nigerian diaspora community are heard, especially those who may feel marginalized or at odds with the current leadership? And it goes with what Molly was just saying too. How are you ensuring? Because you cannot make anybody to do what they don't want to do. And when there is a division within them and they feel marginalized, or maybe they feel like your leadership is not including them, what are you doing? What steps are you taking to ensure that all arms and everybody, both the small and the big, are all included in your leadership and in your community of NIDO in UK South?
Oh, okay. I won't want to narrow it down to UK, but in Europe as a whole, I've just given you example of us trying to launch a diaspora anthem that brings us together one family. We are having every last Thursday of the month, we're having workshops. We call it the Nigerian Diaspora Monthly Series. It's a workshop that goes on every last Thursday of the month. What is that workshop about? We ask every Nigerian diaspora who has a project geared towards homeland development, whether you're a member of NIDO, you are someone that hates NIDO, you are someone that is still thinking about coming back, like some of us on this panel, come to that workshop, introduce that idea that you have. Let's all perfect your idea. Once we perfect the idea, we get some team behind you and deliver your project. So once you know that your project is in safe hands and that you can participate in one way or the other and join your brothers and sisters to give back to Nigeria, I think that's welcome development. And what we're doing is going to the public and opening up our welfare department so that we can all speak to every Nigerian. We have a project that we call like Nigerian Lives Matter. Nigerian Lives Matter is about any Nigerian that we hear that has issues or have problems. We start to maybe make a bit noise about it, tweet it, engage, ask questions, just to make that Nigerian feel that you have your brothers and sisters around you. So those are things we are making to engage to people that are not even within NIDO, so that they can all come back together and we can all join together. And one last thing I want to mention on this particular area is that we are now trying to have tiers of membership. So someone that doesn't like what NIDO does can still become part of Nigerian diaspora without being a member of NIDO in quotes. So we're trying to reach out to people in that way so that when we say Nigeria calls, whether you're a NIDO member or you hate NIDO and you are just an ordinary Nigerian diaspora, once we say Nigeria diaspora calls, we all put our hands together and do something for Nigeria.
Now, follow-up question real quickly.
Okay.
We know that politicians usually use tribal sentiments, to divide the nation. We have seen it happen so many times in politics. Do you have any idea whatsoever whether this is part of what you are going through right now, or is it just a neutral thing? Because I know here in Canada, most of the time when things happen in Nigeria, if it is involving a particular tribe, the way they deal with it might be different. For instance, when a young lady, somebody threatened some Edo people here and Yoruba people, and then all of a sudden, Abike Dabere got involved because of the way there was outcry, even all the way to the president of Nigeria. But the same thing happened to an Igbo person. It was almost like a laughable situation, and they say, oh, it's just a joke and all that kind of stuff. So my question to you is such tribal sentiment part of what you are going through right now, or is it just individualistic endeavors, or somebody who wants to come and hijack and make himself important when they are not?
My team has always been one diaspora, one Nigeria, and I've mentioned that several times. I don't actually see myself as an Igbo person. I see myself as a Nigerian because I'm in diaspora. If we go back to Nigeria, maybe I will tell you I'm an Igbo person. Therefore, we'll meet in Nigeria because I'm from Imo State. But once we're in diaspora, I first see myself as a Nigerian. So in diaspora, we don't see tribe. In diaspora, we see Nigerians. So whether you are from, wherever you are, so far as you're in diaspora, the first thing you see is the nation. And that nation is Nigeria. And that will say homeland development. When we go to Nigeria, we can talk about the states or the tribe or whatever one wants to do it, or the 6 geopolitical zones. But in diaspora, I re-emphasize it's about homeland development, and it's about the country we come from. And that's why our diaspora anthem, our Nido anthem, will make us feel that passionate and have that nostalgic feeling to say we are Nigerians and we celebrate our Nigerianness and also celebrate our host countries because we are one united Nigerian diaspora.
Thank you. Good answer. Good answer.
Yes. Yeah, Fiona, let's
Yes.
have your second, your last.
Yes,
Right.
I think I met you when you were the UK South chairperson under my cousin, who was the NIDO Europe chairman at the time. I was surprised that you mentioned Sir Godwin when you talked about using him as a reference point, because I'm quite certain, just like some of the things we're asking you about now, I'm quite certain that there was also an issue in Russia with this same situation of who is leader. So I was surprised that you mentioned that. I presume that has all been resolved now. But really, from a diaspora point of view, I think that everything that you've said is all well and good, and it sounds fantastic. Anecdotally, the thing that Sir George just referred to about tribal sentiments being present, as much as I would love a situation where tribal sentiment isn't a problem when we're in the diaspora, it has also been part of our experiences that this has shown to be the case. So I don't think saying that it doesn't exist. I mean, for you, maybe for you, it doesn't exist, but it's something that has existed, and it has existed within NIDO. And what are the steps that are taken towards that actual integration? Because we're saying it doesn't exist, but it actually does exist. How do we get that integration? Is it about education? Is it about enlightenment? Is it talking more? Is it more workshop? What is it that we can do so that we have that more united front, so that when it comes to power, when it comes to politics, we can make ourselves relevant quicker rather than these internal wranglings?
When we say something exists or doesn't exist, for me, I look at it as a percentage wise. If one error or someone made or something out of ordinary happened, we cannot use it to generalize what happens in diaspora. And that's why I say it's not really an issue, because one person made one single mistake. But for us, what we try to do is that we also recognize that there's the Constitution of Nigeria talks about federal character. So when the way we look at that is sometimes when we do our zoning, our meetings, we make sure we get somebody. For NIDO Europe, for example, we ensure that we have the chairman from UK, for example. I'm the chairman, I'm from UK. We now ensure that other executive members will come from different parts of Europe. That's to include them. That's the inclusion we do. So likewise, if we see that all the members of the Central Executive Committee are all men, we'll go out of our way to make sure that we lobby for a woman to join the Central Executive Committee. Similarly, if we see every committee that we are doing, they're trying to go to give back to Nigeria, they all come from one zone in Nigeria, we'll go out of our way to encourage and promote people from the other zones to come on board, because we cannot go to Nigeria to intervene or to give back to Nigeria, and everybody in that committee going back are from one zone. It won't tell a good story. And because we might not know what's happening in the other zones, but because we have these ambassadors representing different zones, it will make it more inclusive. And that's why I say we don't see it as I belong to this part or this part. I might represent a Northwest zone when we are going back to Nigeria. I'm not from the Northwest zone in Nigeria, I'm from the Southeast, but I might represent the Northwest zone. What it means for me is that I'm going to study the Northwest zone. I'm going to engage with the governors of the Northwest zone. I'm going to engage with the diaspora focal point people, that I make sure we get it right. And then we go to Nigeria to intervene in the Northwest zone. So that's the way we look at it, and we'll try to bring everybody together. So that no zone is left behind, and no Nigeria is left behind from diaspora interventions.
Okay, because there have been rumors, or I don't know the right term to use for it, but that has been said in the past that a certain tribe are taking over the ex-governor. We've heard it over the years. So what you're saying is, in terms of equity, this sounds like a very good plan, and I hope that NIDO will continue to do that going forward. Thank you, Sir Ubochi.
Okay, so just to add to that is because majority of those in diaspora may come from the southern part of Nigeria. So automatically you expect them to form majority of members of NIDO and form majority of people in the leadership of NIDO. But that doesn't mean the other geopolitical zones are left behind. We also plan and intervene in those zones. So that's the reason why it appears as if the majority of leaders are from the south.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Nice. Sir Barrister Chibuzor Ubochi, we must say that you come across as a very articulated person. You know what you're doing. We hope your tenure as the chairman of NIDO Europe and the coordinating chairman of NIDO Worldwide will really flourish. When we have this confusion in our organizations in the diaspora, yes, we need people like you to come bring a change, and that's what it seems like you're doing. So let's go out now. Viewers, this is it. We've been here talking with Sir Barrister Chibuzor Ubochi, Chairman NIDO Europe, and also Coordinating Chairman NIDO Worldwide. Viewers, if you have your questions and you were just glued to watching, you forgot to write the question, you could still do that through our WhatsApp line or through the comment section in each of these pages. We hope to come again. Yeah, you want to do something? Okay, go ahead.
Quickly. So Sir Ubochi, if somebody has been watching this and they kind of see your vision and believe in your vision, when if they wanted to join, what do they do? People in what website are they looking for? What information do they need in order to join NIDO?
Thank you. I think that's a very essential question, because it would be unfair to leave viewers not knowing where to go. NIDO operates in chapter levels. NIDO Europe have no membership, in quotes. Every member comes through the chapter. So if you're in the UK, search for Nigerians in Diaspora Organization UK South or UK North. In UK, there are two chapters because of the large population of Nigerians in the UK. If you're in France, Nigerians in Diaspora France, Nigerians in Diaspora Switzerland, Nigerians in Diaspora any country you are in. And similarly in America, in Africa, just search the name Nigerians in Diaspora and add the country's name, and you see the list of their website. Alternatively, email me, Nigerians in Diaspora Organization in Europe. So it's chair as CHAIR at NIDO-Europe.
Yes. Let's have that again. Let's have that again so we can put on the screen. Let's have that email again.
It's chair at NIDO-Europe.
NIDO.
And also know that it's not free, that you pay to join.
No, first of all, as I said, the nido-europe.org. Yeah, .org. And you can also link me up on Twitter if you permit me to give my Twitter handle.
Yes.
Okay.
Remove it. That's the Please, there's no org in that one.
Yes, there's no org in that one. Sorry. Okay.
Yes, ORG, yeah.
Let's take it off and bring it the way you said it. Okay. So what we could do is you could just put up write all of those handles and let's have them
yeah. You can search me
run.
on you can search me on Twitter. I'm verified on Twitter. I will be able to engage with you and direct you. Just ask the questions. I will be able to direct you to the right source. So it's at Sir Ubochi, and it's at the sign at Sir Ubochi. It's on Twitter. I'll be
So
able to engage.
you were trying to tell us something about free membership and pay
Okay, no,
members.
yeah, sorry, yeah, thank you. Remember, I mentioned that when I was asked the question, I think it was by Sir George. I said we are trying to have tier membership where every Nigerian can join the lower tier, so that no matter who you are, free membership, just join and become part of the Nigerian Global Diaspora Network. So when we say Nigeria calls, you'll be able to answer that call. But NIDO members might not become the second tier members. With time and as we get along and as you begin to enjoy what Nigerians in diaspora are doing and the network, then you can decide to pay and become a member of NIDO. We are trying to build that platform, and I wish every Nigerian should join it and become part of that global Nigerian diaspora.
Anyway, listen, want to thank you so very much.
Yes.
I usually we discuss issues. Troubles come all over the place, and they always, do. It doesn't matter whether it's in your own personal family, between you and your wife, your siblings, or whatever the case might be. But one thing that we can actually help you out with, we see the solution that you have. You're very positive. You're not negative. You don't want to malign anybody. But I think that, for you to solve this particular issue so that the name NIDO will not go down again like it's in Canada, is to facilitate an open dialogue between all factions. That's number one. Number two is address grievances transparently. Because one thing, if you hide something, situations like this that are happening, you might say, I don't want to, air our dirty laundry out there. But within you, make sure that those grievances are transparent when you are addressing them. Develop a mutual agreed code of conduct and shared goals with everybody, and create a roadmap for joint projects like what you are doing right now that benefits all members, shifting focus from personal or political differences to tangible community impact. That's what I think. We did it here in Canada, but it went to court. I'm hopefully, by God's grace, you'll be able to eliminate some of these intangibles that are causing problems among you. So, that's my little take in what you can do in
Thank
order
you.
to resolve this conflict. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Let's go. We've been here talking with Sir Barrister Chibuzor Ubochi. We hope to have you next time as you continue in your tenure and engage more. George, one of the solutions also is engaging more. We need to learn the power, the efficacy in talking out more, relating to the people, putting out our ideas, and instead of just keeping it to ourselves and letting things fly and people creating all these fake news and stories and confusion all around. So do more engagement, Chairman, do more. And SSM is here, Prime View is there to help you put out all your engagement stories. Thank you. So till we come again, viewers, this has been one-on-one with our wonderful brother, friend, Chairman Sir Barrister Chibuzor Ubochi. So till we come again, good people, God bless you. Have a beautiful new week. Bye-bye.
Beautiful.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.